Good morning and welcome to another video about Russia UK, the channel that gets under the skin of Uber. Right on 4th of May, Birmingham hosted, let me just, let me turn it up actually. Bolt is so busy, it's unbelievable. Hosted On Trip with Uber. Now, this is where the head of Uber, Brem, came along in a sort of a campaign style convoy visiting. You'll be visiting so many places around the UK, and obviously be coming to see you guys as well. Now, I've been working with Uber, over 7 years now, and I never really had a chance to talk to the head of Uber. So this was quite different. Never had a chance with Jamie Haywood, never had a chance with Joe Bertram. Now, on this video, what I'm going to do is go through things which I perceive to be important to us drivers that were talked in the meeting. And obviously the most important one out of all of them was, how was the food? The food wasn't too bad, actually. The food was, I would say, 7 out of 10. Now, obviously, he's brought a crew from London with him. They were quite helpful, actually. They were quite approachable at the same time. But for me personally, this was an opportunity to speak to a head of a organization where the actual buck stops. Most of the times when I speak to some people, I want to complain or say something or give an opinion, feedback, whatever it is. I'm talking to a, 21-year-old graduate running around in the office with his laptop under his arms. So this was quite different in that respect. Right, so firstly, the presentation. Brem, he started off by telling us that Uber is not a technology company anymore. Now, obviously, there's a bit of a background to that. You'll all remember in court, Uber were persuade the courts that it's actually a tech company and not a taxi company. So I don't know. You spent a few minutes telling us that. The other thing he wanted us to know was that he's had a private hire badge, and he's been telling us about a few of the recent trips he's been doing. And I met him afterwards, actually, and I was quite cheeky with him, and I said to him, look, you told us that you obtained a private hire badge and everything, but previously you used to work for British Airways. Did you obtain a pilot license when he was working for British Airways? Okay, so the first highlight for me was the transparency. Now, what does that mean, you might say? Well, what Uber is saying is, look, we have heard a lot of things from drivers, and, well, forget the drivers for now. I'll even, we know, we've seen, in some cases, riders giving us the evidence to show that this is what they are being charged for that particular job. And then, you're saying, ooh, that's a lot of money, because then they are not paying us that much. And if you were to calculate it in certain ways, you think, ooh, 30-40% Uber are taking on that particular job in commission structure. Now, Uber is saying, well, that might be a case for some jobs, but others, we are having to fork out of our own pocket. I.e., if we were to get that particular job, and if you were to ask the customer, or if you, whatever you do to find out, you might find that we are paying you more than what the rider is being charged. So we are forking out in that case. So, in some jobs, Uber are making a loss on it. They're saying to get that particular job or win that particular job is their phrase. So what they're saying is every week you will be able to see how much we charge the passengers, how much we charged you, holiday pay and all that sort of thing, and will give you an equate figure in commission wise to what it is. So you might think on the whole week, Uber are taking say 30%, but if you were to do it, if you were to break down all of them, you might find yourself actually that Uber are actually charging you commission way, structured way, probably about 15 to 20%. One thing I would say also here is, I want that figure, the transparency figure, per job. What I don't want to see is a total amount for the whole week. But what I would like to see in that side of thing is a breakdown on every particular job yourself. So one single job you get, if there was a breakdown of how much you charge the passenger, how much you're charging us, and all that sort of thing, I think that will make us a lot more confident on that side of things. So that's one thing I'm quite happy about. Okay, so we move on to holiday pay. Now, Uber are saying there's a mixed views to this. There's some people who like it, some people who don't, and that is the inclusion of the holiday pay within the job. Now, I had the opportunity actually to bring this up with him when I was talking to him one-to-one, explaining to him that this has really got nothing to do with preference. If the driver likes it end of the week, or if they will like it with per job, it's got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with Uber's trust. What the Uber has done to drivers over time is they've lost all confidence, all trust in Uber. They have called basically the wolf too many times, and this is the reason they have a mixed feeling about this. Some drivers will not be happy with it. The way they see it, the driver's point of view, is that you're basically adding that on to make the job look attractive, so he's more likely to take it. And secondly, that figure there, you guys are probably skimming something of it. So this is what it is. It's that holiday pay inclusion. It has all to do with trust. And if you could win the trust back of drivers, it doesn't matter how you pay the holiday pay. Also with holiday pay, they are also looking at paying drivers holiday pay into an wallet. And basically that will go into, it might be included within Uber's app, because they have got a financial side to Uber the company. So that'll be easy to produce a Uber wallet, and that will just separately go to the wallet, and you could take it out, do whatever you want to do out of that. Okay, so let's move on quickly. Now, this one is for you Ubermatics. Hey, that's quite nice actually, Ubermatic. I quite like that. Now, this one is for the drivers who are fixated with Uber Pro. Those of you who are on Diamond or Platinum, I think those are the two. These are the drivers that this will interest most. Apart from you guys, wanting to go into that die-hard figure of, I don't know, 1,200 or 1,600, whatever it is. This is good news for you guys. What they're going to do is they're going to introduce a status protection, would you believe? Now, as I said, I'm not sure if this is just the Platinum drivers and the Diamond drivers or not, but we'll get clarification on that. And you probably know why I'm struggling with this is mainly because you really didn't bother me as a Blue driver. I'm not going to be too interested. But in a nutshell, what they're saying is, look, if you were to go on holiday, if you were to fall ill, whatever, we don't want you to be thinking on your sick bed, oh my God, I'm not going to be making it to Diamond level this month. This is how much Uber's got you, by the way. If you are one of them levels, they know you are thinking about that on your sick bed. So what they're saying is, look, just get well, and what we're going to do, we're going to freeze your account for a quarter. So in a nutshell, if you were platinum and diamond drivers, and you couldn't keep, well, you'd move up from the platinum side of things. You couldn't move up because you was away for a month or whatever it is. We will freeze the account, and if you didn't make it in that quarter, we will not demote you. You'll still be the same platinum driver. But if it happens next quarter as well, another 3 months as well, and you still couldn't make that diamond figure, obviously we will, slide you back down the slide. But we will give you an opportunity to do that 1,800 trips in 2 weeks, whatever it is. But that's what it is. It's a protection for you guys who are fixated, as I said, with Uber Pro. So that's something really important to you guys as well. Okay, so let's get back to normal for us normal drivers. Now, Uber also, at this meeting, were told that they are introducing what they call an app review center. Now, what does that mean? That means basically for us, a lot of us actually, from time to time, we go through an agonizing time, actually, very frightening in some cases, because our account is put on hold for, and they'll tell you the reason what it is on this app review center. And what it does is gives you the opportunity to produce any evidence or anything you want to say, whatever you want to do to support your case. So this eradicates the fear of, sometimes they say we'll ring you, and you think, oh God, when are they going to ring us? You keep your phone on hold. You're not working anywhere just in case they ring at that time. It's an agonizing time, and hopefully this app review center should, sort of answer. I mean, I'm not 100% convinced, because there's a lot more to it than that. It's not simple as that. But this is what it is. You'll see the status of it, and let's see how it goes. Actually, you never know. From what I've been hearing from Andrew Brem for this all this time, it sounds quite positive on my side of things. So at the end of that, and say for some reason, they don't deactivate you, which is probably, celebration time, they will actually compensate you, what they call a goodwill payment. I mean, I'm not sure what the figure is or whatever it is, but they will give you a figure for you, the time they kept you suspended. So that's good. I quite like that. Okay, look, I'm just going to mention a couple more, and then we'll give this video a rest. If you want to know a bit more, just put it on the comments, and I'll try and answer them for you. We're moving to electric cars now, and now another one for major concern for us drivers. Uber has a policy by 2030 that all their fleet will be electric. Now they are saying, now this is quite important, they will not remove drivers who are not electric at that time. Now, I wanted just clarification when he said that, but again, they wouldn't take my question. So if you guys in one of these cities and listen to this video, and please ask them a question. I want you to clarify this for me. They are saying, what I've heard them say is that if you haven't got an electric vehicle by 2030, Uber will not remove you from their platform. But please, again, that's one thing I'm not 100% sure on. But if that is the case, I think that is brilliant. And look, even with that, it doesn't really matter about Uber. It's more to do with your local council. If your council decides at 2030 that there'll all be MOT electric vehicles, Uber doesn't mean nothing, and that might be the case, or it might not be the case. But that's something you have to fight with your own local council. a quick last one as well. Mapping, the likes of Birmingham, Leeds. Basically, these are cities that are really, the mapping, the Uber mapping is so bad. You know, if you're in Birmingham, if you're working near in Birmingham, you got no chance in Birmingham city centre, because, well, I don't even want to go there. But what they're saying is they are even thinking of deploying some of the staff for a few days within them cities and going around and around and around and making sure they add all that additional information, bus gates, you know, trams and all that sort of thing within their mapping map, Uber map, and so that will give you a better understanding of jobs that are coming through your jobs that are coming to you, sorry. And if you know, if you want to expect it, that's your you know, well, you decide. Now, one quick thing, and it's like a bit of like a spoiler actually. They did this quiz at the end, and the quiz, I think, was called Know Your City Quiz. And it's quite funny actually, because I thought to myself, you know what, you know, I think I got a good chance of winning this one. I mean, I mean, if they're going to ask about history of Birmingham, you know, I got a fair good chance. If they're going to ask about the road structures of Birmingham and all that sort of thing, you know, some roads, some, you know, I'm going to smash this. It was nothing to do with that. They were coming out with questions so stupid, you know, it just didn't make, you know, like for instance, what was the busiest day last year for Uber rides? You know, they were saying things like Christmas Eve and Halloween and Valentine's, I think, all them sort of things. The answer to that, if you were to get it actually, is semi-finals of the World Cup. I'll give you another one as well. I don't want to give all of them just in case they, you know, it's not fair really, is it? Another one was, how many cities are we visiting? It's 19. And also, I mean, our venue was hosted at the Villa Park. So they ask, what was the capacity of Villa Park? Now, I don't support Villa, so I had no chance. Out of 24 people that, I think it's 22 or 24, that actually the names came up that competed, I was 18th, really, really low, you know. But I thought I'll give you some, you know, so if you get the questioning, if you guys in London, sorry, Manchester, for instance, you know, just find out, you know, and if he was in Old Trafford, what the capacity is Old Trafford and all that, because this is one of the questions that'll come up, and that goes for every other city, whatever football. If it's a football venue, find out what the football venue capacity of where you are. That will help you to win the actual £100 prize they had for us here. Anyway, I better go. I don't want to make this video too long, and I'll catch you soon.